everybody! It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, April 7th, 2024. I have a crush on the sexy new man in town, Mr. Jordan. Oh, what a babe. Oh, all of that thick, luxurious, dark facial hair and those big, dark glasses and that newspaper boy hat that all the old men wear. You can deliver my paper anytime. Yes! Any man that can pull off an ascot is my kind of man. Wait. Are you telling me that's not a man? I never would have guessed that. Damn. Master of disguise. Oh. Okay, this just keeps getting better in my opinion. I know some of you don't like it. You are getting tired of all of the Jordan disguises and hijinks, but I'm just like sitting back and having fun with it. I just like it. I accept that it makes no sense. Of course it makes no sense. There's a million holes all over this place and impossibilities. Like, where's she getting the budget for this, the costume budget for the whole epic transformations that she's doing week after week? I don't know, and I don't care. Give me more. I just want more. Although I really doubt that she's gonna be able to top this. I think villain drag has got to be the pinnacle of it all. We have reached the peak. There is nowhere else to go from here but down. Especially if you're Nikki. Ugh. Downer. I was so disappointed when Nikki put the bottle to her lips this week. I was thinking, no! Slow motion, no, Nikki. Don't do it. You have come so far. It's been weeks with no drinking. And you were just telling Jack that you were not going to let Jordan beat you. You were not going to let Jordan win. And then you just gave in the very next second as soon as you were alone. And worst of all, she said that she was going to cancel the romantic anniversary trip with Victor, which I suppose should not be surprising to me. It's like, okay, another romantic trip canceled. Add it to the list. Victor promises Nikki a romantic trip once a year, and it never happens. But although the trip may have been canceled, it does appear that the celebration at home is still on, because in the previews for next week, Victor and Nikki are all dolled up. They are dancing and romancing, and someone must have been let loose on Nikki's hair with a bedazzler. If your name is Diane Jenkins Abbott, then you are wishing that Nikki would just go ahead and take that trip with Victor and get out of town for a couple weeks, months, years. I really thought it was big progress this week that Diane admitted to being a little jealous of Nikki and Jack's relationship. And you know what? If I walked into the living room and found my husband having an intimate, private conversation on our couch with his ex-wife, I would feel a little jealous too. So thank you, Diane, for being not so understanding this week. I think that Diane is feeling left out and isolated all over the place. It is lonely at the top. She got this top dog position at Jabot, but it has caused problems between her and Kyle, her darling baby boy. And she actually asked Jack this week to let them swap jobs. Diane, this is not Undercover Boss. You cannot flip-flop just because someone else doesn't respect your position. That job is yours. Please, put little Kyle in his place. Stop letting him control your decisions. Now is the time for you to be a mom and a leader. I cannot believe that Jack has decided to butt out of Ashley's business right when she needs him most. Like, when has Jack ever just quietly accepted any of Ashley's life decisions? Especially when Tucker is in the mix, and now he's decided to step back. Traci tried to warn him, and if Traci, the angel straight from heaven, is worried about you, then everyone else should be worried too. Although I did like Jack saying to Traci, hey, we all love having you here. He acknowledged that she has a life outside of Genoa City and that she's choosing to be in Genoa City to be with the family. He called her the glue of the family, and he is right. But he argued that it's time to back off of Ashley, and so what if she just didn't come home last night? I mean, I guess I kind of agree with that. On the surface, if nothing else was going on, then a grown woman should certainly be able to come and go, or not come and go, any way that she chooses to in her own home. But Jack doesn't know what Traci knows, because Traci has seen Ashley's obsession with Tucker. Ashley saying that she has a revenge plan against Tucker. She wants to take everything from him. And she said all that, and then she just disappeared overnight and showed up the next day saying that she had blacked out the night before. She didn't even know where she had, where she'd gone, what she'd done. And of course, we, the audience, know that she went to Tucker's room again, where she almost had a smackdown with Audra, but then Tucker asked Ashley to leave, and she apparently got lost and wound up in a motel somewhere. She kind of, we saw her kind of grabbing her head, and then she kind of blacks out and then just shows up at home not really knowing what else happened. And I have to give props to Traci. Just bless Traci for asking the right question first and foremost. Do you think, Ashley, that you could have been assaulted? Do you think you could have been taken advantage of? It's really easy to get roofied, to, you're not thinking about it. Someone slips something in your drink and then boom, is there any chance that this happened to you? Which I thought was the correct response from Traci. Beautiful. But then Ashley said, no, I really don't think that's the case because this is not the first time that it's happened. So we had this moment where Ashley really confided in Traci, and it was like, oh, okay, maybe she's really going to get some help. But then one of the other personalities kicked in and went into damage control mode and made Traci pinky swear to not tell Jack, and then she just kind of dodged out of there on the promise that she would go get some therapy. The pinky swear. The most sacred of swears. But is this gonna be a promise that Traci can and should keep? Shocker of the week, even above and beyond seeing Jordan in drag, was seeing Tucker propose to Audra. As the week started out, they weren't even together. Audra was done with him for like the 100th time. And I guess I was fooled because I thought, okay, this is done. Audra is probably just going to hook up with Nate now. But then Tucker managed to convince Audra that she is the only woman on his mind. And he was able to convince her by saying those 3 little words, I love you. He said, I love you, for the very first time, saying it to her. And Audra said it back. That was a really significant step in their relationship. That was the game changer. His willingness to acknowledge his feelings, because we saw him realizing it. We saw him identifying that within himself weeks ago, but he could not yet bring himself to say it to her until now. And then to add a marriage proposal, I was floored. I was thinking, whoa, how did we get here? I mean, I loved it because I love Tucker and Audra. I would way rather see Tucker and Audra together than Tucker and Ashley together at this point. I feel that Tucker and Audra's relationship is much more balanced. It is much more equal. And so I assumed, like maybe you assumed, that she would just say yes. I thought, okay, she's throwing up some resistance here. That's natural. That's good. But ultimately, clearly, she will say yes. But then she didn't. She didn't say yes. She said, I love you too. I want to be with you. I think that our connection is unparalleled. Nobody has what we have. But marriage, I'm not ready. And surprisingly, I was disappointed, but I totally respect that. Because yes, I know it's exhausting that Audra is constantly questioning him and questioning his intentions the way that Ashley always was. Like, okay, Tucker, is this really about your love for me? Or is this about Ashley? Or is this about Devon? But I really think that she was right to question his proposal. It was happening so fast, and it's happening at a time when Tucker is feeling really isolated, from everything and everyone else in his life. Ashley's putting this weird pressure on him, but he knows that it's not coming from a healthy, genuine place. Devon is hateful and unforgiving toward him, and in a lot of ways, I think Tucker has earned all of this mistrust. It is not coming out of nowhere. Tucker frequently says one thing and then he does another. He frequently lies about his intentions. So I cannot blame Audra for not wanting her marriage to be a reaction to something that's going on in his life. So, good decision, Audra. I actually really respect you for not giving in so easily. But now, let the dance continue. Thank you, Heather, for encouraging Daniel to fight back. Because there is drama in that. And that's what I'm here for. I mean, everybody gets fired. These companies are like a merry-go-round, and nobody's ever on it for very long before they get flung off. And nobody ever fights it. They all just go look for a job somewhere else. And that's what Daniel and Heather were poised to do until Heather decided to do the thinking for Daniel. Which ultimately is what he wanted her to do. Like, somebody just tell me what to do here. And she did. Heather said, okay, just wait a minute. I can go ahead and go get another lawyering job. But Omegasphere is your dream. It's your passion. And the Princess Louisa game is based on your daughter. You can't just let that go. Except you did, Daniel. You did let it all go when you sold it off. When you signed the contract saying that you understood you were selling the company and giving the control to Chancellor Winters in exchange for, money. I am so looking forward to seeing Lily digging in her heels on this next week. Oh, I want Daniel to have his perspective and to fight it, and I want Lily to have her perspective and fight back. So good. And my favorite part of it all was Phyllis's take. She said, what? Lily fired my son? How dare she? I mean, so what? You get rejected. You don't go out seeking revenge. How immature, she said. Cough, cough. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. Oh, Phyllis. Yeah, Billy was the one who broke the news to Phyllis. Does Phyllis even work at Chancellor Winters? She does, right? She works at Omegasphere, which is owned by Chancellor Winters, so Phyllis kind of is employed by Chancellor Winters in the Omegasphere division, and yet I have never seen her in the Chancellor Winters office even once. Chances are she's going to quit now. She's not going to want to keep that job if Daniel is gone. And Daniel was hardly ever even there anyway, so I don't know. It's always, in the Chancellor Winter office, it's always just Lily, Devon, and Nate. And then Chance and Billy, and maybe Mamie and Jill come in occasionally. But, okay, speaking of Billy, Billy's role is actually sort of interesting here, because on Friday, he told Lily that he wanted to be CEO partners with her at the top. He was giving her the hard sell about how he wanted to run Chancellor Winters with her side by side as it was meant to be. But earlier in the week, Billy also told Daniel and Heather that they should fight back, that what Lily did to them was unfair. Really though? So Billy, you basically were encouraging an ex-employee to sue the company, and then you turn around and give face to Lily like, yeah, we're a team. Company's best interest at heart. Yeah, no, it doesn't actually sound like you're a company man at all. It sounds like you're just wanting everyone to believe that you are. It seems to me that Billy wants and is actively trying to make Lily have a false sense of security, because what he really wants is for there to be turmoil surrounding her so that she can get in trouble and then he can swoop in and take her job at the top. Wow, we just closed on a house and we only have 3 days to pack up all of our stuff. Why don't you guys come on over and hang out with us and we'll just chill and have a bottle of champagne? And we also only have an infant to care for right now. Am I the only one who is shocked by the fact that Mariah and Tessa have like the most laid back attitude in the world about moving? There is literally nothing on the planet that is more stressful than moving. It is the number one worst thing a person can go through that is non-health or death related. I hate moving, packing up all the stuff that you don't use and then trying to decide if you want to keep it or is it worth lugging along with you to the new place, or do you just want to get rid of it? But then you also have to pack up only the things that you know you're going to need for the next 3 days, which is impossible because you know you need everything. You only have 3 days to do all of this. I don't know. Best wishes to Mariah and Tessa on their move and in their new home. I hope we get to see their new home, but I'm also not holding my breath. I actually am kind of holding my breath, though, about something. Okay, so, I feel like we need to watch out for Jordan here. Or is it just me? Because I was feeling really freaked out by the fact that Jordan was overhearing Nikki and Tessa talking at society, and they were just being casual, but Tessa mentioned Aria, and then Nikki mentioned how precious she thinks Aria is, and I just kept thinking, oh no, please don't tell me that Jordan is going to kidnap Aria as a way to retaliate against the Newman family, because I don't think I can handle that. I do not want Jordan to get her hands on a baby. She probably eats babies for breakfast, and I don't want to deal with that. I need Jordan's villainry to be focused on the adults. I hope that's not it. It probably is not, but I can't help being worried about the baby. I'm worried about baby Aria, y'all. Okay. Well, so, okay, Mariah and Tessa are moving out of the Tack house, and Victoria's gonna move in. And I think that makes a whole lot more sense, frankly. Well, I'm kind of guessing here, and I don't know if this is right, and you can correct me, but I feel like Victoria was probably the first occupant of the Tack house. Don't you think? Wasn't that set kind of built for her to show teenage Victoria or developing Victoria as she got older? Into her own little place. That's what I think. I think that was kind of her first place. And also that Tack house is where she and Cole fell in love. And also chances are it's going to happen again. Because I'm sure that Cole is going to be spending lots of time down at that Tack house, since Claire is going to be moving in there too. Yeah. moving in with your mom probably sounds really great in theory. But I'm going to give Claire about 2 weeks before she is tearing her hair out. Because Victoria already freaked out at the fact that Claire went out on her own to get a cup of coffee. I just don't think Claire's going to want to be feeling like a prisoner under Victoria's hawk-eye. Especially since Victoria's not even working right now. She is going to just be trying to focus all of her attention on her little baby bird. And I don't know if this week is any indicator of the future. Maybe Cole will be right there to reel Victoria in. Cole. What a stud. Cole is a total stud. Did you see the way he almost made a move on Victoria when they were on the bench sitting there outside of the ranch under the moonlight? Man, yes. Cole is both the Mac Daddy and the Daddy Mac, because I was watching him and little by little he was just scooching closer to her on the bench, and then he subtly kind of did the yawn arm stretch thing over her, around the back of her. He kind of like yawned and put his arm around the back of her. It was all casual like. It was all very smooth. And then he went in for the kiss, and I guess instead just timing wasn't right, something, I don't know, didn't want to totally strike out. I'm not sure why the kiss didn't happen, but it got close, and instead it just switched gears and Cole started telling her how much he cares for her. I really love this. I love Cole and Victoria because I feel like Cole totally, he has this warmth that kind of cancels out her coldness, and somehow he just sees through all of her bluster and all of her frost, and he just boils her right down to her essence. Cole looks at Victoria the way I wish I could look at Victoria, with just total love and acceptance, even though she locked him outside of the house in his boxer shorts in the winter 30 years ago. Ooh, bummer that Adam and Chelsea dumped all that money into the specialized therapy school, and the sports facility isn't even all that great. Ugh. And on top of that, it didn't turn out to be the magic fix that made everybody feel better instantaneously. Apparently, when they all got to Baltimore, Connor had a 15-minute initial therapy session without Adam and Chelsea present, and Connor told the doctor that Mom and Dad are the problem. I'm sorry. Sorry. The doctor was like, you guys should just go. You're making everything worse. We got this. And of course, Chelsea's reaction was scared. You know, she hates leaving her son in some scary new place where they intend to scare him as part of the therapy. And Adam's reaction was, well, at first offended. Like, this place is a sham. They take your money, take your kid, and then kick you out. And I guess I don't know what to say about any of this. I wasn't there, you guys. I was at the previous therapy session, but I wasn't at this one, so I don't know. I don't know. And I will say, the truth is, adults and children can both be taken advantage of, and people who are scared and desperate are particularly susceptible. So I don't know what to say about the school. I don't know if it's legit or not. Chelsea seems to have faith in the whole process. Adam blames himself. But, you know, both Chelsea and Adam came home to their very supportive partners, while Connor sits on a park bench alone, cleaning his hands with the water that's in his water bottle. I mean, break my heart, why don't ya? Just take my heart, rip it out, and break it, why don't ya? Because I feel way more empathy for Connor here than I do for Adam and Chelsea. I just want to go get Connor and I want to bring him home with me. Don't even worry about any of this stuff, Con boy. Little Con, you're coming with me. You're coming to my house. We'll learn to cope with all of this stuff together. We'll do it together, you and me, day in and day out, hour by hour if we have to. And if we are out in the wild and we get our hands in something sticky, well, the damn right we're going to use that water bottle to wash our hands. People need escapism. Is that the greatest quote of all time? Oh, the greatest Who Said It quote of all time. It's so relevant. People need escapism. And an author would know that. It was Traci who said it. She was talking about, Ashley binge watching season after season of her favorite sitcom. She says she was trying to act like it was no big deal at first, you know. She's just binge watching. People need escapism. Yes. Yes, Traci, we do. So shout out to this week's winners. Victoria, Marianne V, Hannah, Dolores, Wonderful Wendy, Jamie, Henry, Justin, Sharon W, Daisy, and Tanya. Very, very good. Very good. All right, how about this one? Logic, restraint. 2 traits that I am not known for. Who said that? Logic, restraint. 2 traits that I am not known for. If you think you know who said it, you can go to yrchat.com to leave your guess. And if you get it right, I will give you your shout out during next week's Y&R Chat. And before I get to comments, I just want to say a quick birthday shout out to Erica, April 12th. I hope you have a beautiful birthday this week. Have a birthday week, Erica. Don't just have one day. Have a birthday week. And come to the website and tell us hi. Happy birthday. And now let's get to some feedback from you guys, starting with Kamna, who says, this rarely happens to me, but I cried during the last scene of Y&R on Friday with Adam. Wow, Mark Grossman is amazing. And I felt like Courtney Hope was reflecting the pain that we're all feeling for Adam. Give that man an Emmy and a big fat Hollywood contract when the time is right. Because as much as I love Justin Hartley, he's got nothing on Mark Grossman. Ooh. Well, yeah, but if he gets a Hollywood contract, then he won't be ours anymore. But we want our birds to fly. You know, if you love something, you have to set it free. And yes, he is great. And it's interesting, though, that I think more people seem to be responding to Adam's turmoil with this than Chelsea's. I don't hear anybody talking about how moved they were by Chelsea's conversation with Billy. So I think just must be something about the actors and actresses, Mark Grossman and Courtney Hope, who are really making the viewers feel it. T. Nicole says, I had a random thought while watching Adam and Sally, and sorry if it's a bit crude, but I was a big Adam and Sally fan when they first got together, and I'm happy they're together. But when are we going to get some back together sex from them? Thank you, T. Nicole. They said I love you to each other. I love you to each other. And I was thinking it would be for Valentine's Day, but here we are in April, and it's just Sally consoling Adam over and over. The These two are supposed to be a hot fire couple. Sex in the office, sex on the couch, or hey, even copy Danny and Christine and do sex with candles and rose petals on the bed. This is not feeling like my same Adam and Sally. Tina Cole, yes, thank you. Yes. Because I just feel like it is week after week of the dialogue where Adam is doubting his skills as a parent, and then Sally comes in and says all the right things, and it's just like every single week it's the same thing, and I just want something a little different from them, want something more passionate from them. I just don't even think we needed to really take this turn into Connor Town. It's not particularly riveting on any level. Yeah, it's I don't know. I kind of would have rather seen Adam and Sally just get back together and go to Sex Town. I would rather have gone to Sex Town instead of Connor Town. Well, Daisy says, Adam having such a strong reaction to his son being left alone hopefully will motivate him to go back and get Connor. The facility doesn't seem to have his best interest at heart. Blaming the parents for OCD seems more like a money grab than helping Connor. He's a small child and he can go see a doctor from home. And the family all should be involved, not isolated from the treatment. Daisy! The family should be involved, not isolated from the treatment. Yes! Connor is, 10, did they say? How are Adam and Chelsea going to help him if they don't, too, have some tools? Maybe it is a family therapy that is needed here, and I am with you. I wanted to see Adam just turn right around and go get the kid back. And in fact, when he was in the car and he told the driver, okay, turn around, we're going to make another stop, I thought, oh, good, he's going back to get Connor, and that'll really tick Chelsea off, and then they can be arguing about it, because that's where I thought the drama was going to be. And no, he just shows up at Sally for some more counseling, consoling about his parenting skills. I was like, no, Adam, go back and get the kid. But I guess I thought it was interesting that they found the school to be controversial. Like, why are they just, all they did was, if Adam felt that way, that the school was kind of scamming him, then why did he leave? Why would he leave without Connor? I don't know. Wouldn't you think that the school, instead of being like, y'all aren't helping, bye, shouldn't the school, if they were legit, have been wanting the parents to leave with an overall feeling of good? Like, even if they felt that the parents' presence wasn't right, that they should have gone out of their way to make the parents leave feeling good about the decision that they made. That is just not the case here. More reason to bring him home. But I'm just surprised we saw Connor again even more. I thought, they're taking him to Baltimore. We won't see him again until Christmas, but at least they did follow up a little bit. Henry says, though, why is Y&R giving so much time to the OCD storyline? I get that it's all about awareness and it's a serious matter, but to devote an entire hour on Friday's episode to the scenario is way too much. We get it. It would have been great to see more of the Mr. or Mrs. Jordan storyline. Tucker and Audra, Daniel, Heather, Ashley, etc. There are so many great scenes that await us. The OCD storyline is one big yawn fest. I just don't understand what the objective is here. Are we supposed to be learning something about OCD? Are we supposed to be discussing treatment options? Are we just supposed to be swooning at how supportive Sally is of Adam and how supportive Billy is of Chelsea? I just don't know what I'm aiming here. What's Y&R's aim here? Sue W. agrees with Henry and says, as always, I don't watch or need, like any viewer, for soaps to emphasize, educate, and or provide guidance on real-world problems. I'm enjoying the alcoholism and the split personality stories, but only for the great acting, the messy dramas, and the soapy fallouts, not for the handling of the issues. I recognize and empathize with struggles in the real world, but soaps are just for my crazy fun downtime. Connor's OCD doesn't give me much soapy stuff to relish. Yeah, it's mostly just a downer. The whole Friday episode was a downer. In fact, the second I turned off Friday's episode, I knew, as soon as I finished watching, I go to the website to update all my crazy screen caps and photos. And every day I try to find a funny one. I try to find a funny photo caption. And the second I finished Friday's episode, I literally said out loud to myself, well, there were no yucks here. Not a single yuck. I thought, how am I going to come up with anything funny? I mean, I did. I dug deep and I found it. But I did question myself there for a minute, like, gee, nothing funny here. Yeah, but I also like, Sue W, that you say, I don't need soaps to educate me. I don't need soaps to give me guidance on real world problems. I just want the drama. I kind of feel similar. Well, Sherrod says, I cannot lie. The scene between Adam and Victor made my eyes water. Also, oh no, I'll save that comment because that was a good one. I'll save that part for another place. But Sherrod, the scene between Adam and Victor made my eyes water. And Sharon W agrees, saying, I love that scene between Adam and Victor. Victor really loves Connor and obviously sees some of the lost time that he had with Adam when seeing what Adam is having to go through with Connor. He seemed quite upset about Connor's diagnosis and wants to be there to help Adam and Connor with whatever they may need. I loved the writers showing Victoria's compassion toward Adam. It's a soap, it won't last, but I thought it was well done today. And, surprise, even Claire showed understanding and some caring toward Connor. I think this would make a nice upcoming story before Jordan gets her hands into the whole family again. And maybe some chatters, myself included, might actually see the Newmans having to end up saving Adam. We've been thinking Adam would save the family, but they may indeed need to save him. Don't know how that would play out, but it would give the Newmans a chance to show humility for once. You know what I love best about this, Sharon W, is but I kind of like your connection there about Claire and Connor. Like, maybe as someone, who has mental troubles and is also connecting with youth, maybe Claire would be someone who could hang out with Connor a little bit. I don't know, just an idea. I'm just all about getting Connor home. Let him hang out with Claire if that's what it's gonna take. New topic. Gary says, what well has Victoria purged to drudge up such kindness? That's right, she jumped right into a kindness pool, and now she's like a whole new woman. Sharon W says, has anyone ever heard Victoria say that she wasn't perfect? She told Cole today that she's far from perfect, but Cole's only response to her was that she takes his breath away about a dozen times a day. So romantic, if I say so myself. Yes, that was gorgeous. That line was gorgeous. You take my breath away a dozen times a day. Well, I mean, that's just, I don't know who came up with that line, but that was romance right there. That was high romance right there. I love that. Oh, here's the quote from Sherrod that I really liked. Sherrod says, I must agree with Summer regarding Claire. How do you go from homicidal to normal in a few months? Yes. Naomi says, Summer is saying what the viewer might be thinking. Is Claire capable of restraining her thoughts and emotions in such a short time? A lifetime of twisted thinking is supposed to be erased by inpatient treatment at a hospital for troubled people. The thing is, Claire still pops up in random places and has a look of secretiveness about her. I can totally understand why she's secretive. She knows regular folks don't plot to poison people. She must have so many battles going on in her head. Oh, there's a terrible, wonderful member of the Newman family. She must be exhausted from trying to think a normal thought. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I like Summer's challenging of Claire, too. I agree. Oh, now also from Gary, who actually predicted that Jordan would end up disguising herself as a man. Gary says, next up, Aunt Jordan, disguised as Geisha Girl with chopsticks in her hair. Is that your next prediction, Gary? I love that. Yeah, it's probably politically incorrect, but I mean, where else can we go from here? Having her disguised as a man is the top. I mean, it would so Geisha Girl might just be the thing. It would have to be over the top to top man. Oh, I love this point from T. Nicole about Billy. T. Nicole says, why are we not seeing Billy more upset about the fire that destroyed his kids' home? He had lots of memories there too, and all his kids' toys and keepsakes are gone. I want to see Billy and Victoria talk about this with each other. Maybe some fun flashbacks to moments in Victoria's house. And the whole house fire, the fact that Victoria lost her whole life is such a non-issue, honestly. And I mean, I loved the moment where Mariah and Tessa were so excited about their new home, and then Tessa was like, ooh, and she had to inform Mariah, like, psst, 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 psst. Oh yeah, Victoria's house just totally burned down. We might want to we might not want to ixnay the house, hey, right now. And Victoria's just like, it's fine, no problem. Speaking of fires, I asked you guys last week if you thought that it was a good move or a bad move that Lily up and fired Daniel and Heather. 57% of you felt that it was a bad move on Lily's part. 43% of you said good riddance. Which I think that's pretty strong for the good riddance vote. Victoria, though, voted that it was a bad move. Daniel heads a successful division of Chancellor Winters. Loss of his artistic passion for gaming projects could be hard to replace. Irreplaceable is the history that Daniel has of the gaming division and his connection to Genoa City. Heather's loss is easier to replace as she has very little history with the company. But Lily has every right to feel the way she does, but I think it's short-sighted. Well, Sue W. voted good riddance to getting rid of Heather and Daniel, and also is open to story possibilities, finding out that the choice ended up as a bad move. But with no comment on which option is right or wrong, I figure Lily hired them both for personal reasons. Oh, sure, she really, really, really believed in Daniel's loopy princess world. LOL not. So, in that same good to be queen vein, she's equally entitled to good riddance-em. I don't know about protocols or laws, just looking at the human element. Sue W., yeah, she hired him for personal reasons, so why can't she fire him for personal reasons? Great idea. Daisy says, before things get too far, I think Jill will step in and fire Lily and rehire Daniel and Heather. Even though Jill chose Lily for the position, Lily's actions are not that of a professional and will likely have negative consequences for the company. Yeah, I wonder. Well, Michelle says, I'm loving the drama in a business matter and find it hilarious that she fired them in a public place. I voted bad move because Dr. Google says, since the late 19th century, Wisconsin has been an at-will state. Under the at-will employment document, an employer can terminate an employment relationship, aka fire an employee, for good cause, no cause, or even for reasons that are subjectively or morally wrong. Michelle, thank you for bringing the real legal tea here. I cannot believe that. So, wow. In Wisconsin, you can just go ahead and fire anybody for any reason and they've got no legal recourse. So then why does Heather think that they have a good chance? I guess maybe just for drama there. But wow, that's interesting. Thank you for that. Naomi says, the conversation between Daniel and Heather regarding their unemployment situation was revealing. Daniel literally said that he was hoping Heather would figure something out. She has many career options, and he has dreams about dreams about dreams. Daniel's a nice guy, but he has no gumption. Much like his old man, Danny. Dreams, 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 but no gumption, just like his father. I love that, Naomi. And speaking of Danny, Diana says, I'm disappointed that we have not had very much follow-up with Danny and Christine. I feel like we see Nikki and Claire much more than I would like throughout the week. I wish that Danny, Christine, and Phyllis triangle was given some more screen time. As I mentioned before, I really hope we actually get to see Danny go on tour with Christine by his side while Phyllis spies on them as she plans various tactics to sabotage their new and budding relationship. This would be fun to watch. Well, it occurred to me this week, Diana, that I wonder if Danny and Christine are, if they're going to be gone. If Danny's going off on tour and Christine has decided to go with them, was that Y&R's way of saying goodbye to them? And if so, are they already gone and we didn't get a final farewell? It can't be, right? Danny would at least say goodbye to Daniel, right? But I feel like maybe the tour thing is Y&R's way of sending them off for a while, which is disappointing. Oh, about Tucker and Audra, Victoria says, wash, rinse, and repeat. Audra, how many times are you going to forgive Tucker? I admit he's good at groveling. He looks incredible shirtless. But how do you really believe that he will put you first? As much as he was in love with Ashley, his plans, not theirs, always came first. Ooh, yeah, I know. It's like one of those things where, yeah, he's good at groveling and you want to believe him. But I know Tucker is a prickly pear. Dolores says, I still believe and am keeping my fingers crossed that Tucker and Audra will become the power couple that they are meant to be. I am probably a fanatic fan of one, but I'm rooting for them to finally come together as I had for Adam and Sally. There is many years of history between them, knowing each other's deep and desirous thoughts and motives. Time, silence can pass between them, and the looks they share have spoken volumes. And finally, verbally, they said it out loud. I love you. No longer fearing being vulnerable to each other, it would be an awesome development for this couple to be written as the powerful ones to watch as they navigate taking on the corporate world of Genoa City and become another family as movers and shakers like to the Newmans and the Abbotts and the Chancellor Winters clan. Yeah, I know. I love Tucker and Audra too, and I just want to believe in them too, and I don't think they're done. She said no, but they still went on to have sex, so that's a good sign. Oh, Sharon W. says, Allie, did you see the beautiful spring flowers at the coffee shop on Tuesday's show? I guess the writers really do read our chats of encouragement. Yes, Sharon W., yes. I don't know if Y&R got it from us. I think they must have known it was spring decorating time because, yes, all the flowers at Crimson Lights have switched over. Thank goodness. I am so happy to see the fresh blast of flowers around this place. Spring needs to spring and spring needs to sprung in Genoa City. And I want to ask you guys a question. I am just a little bit nervous about all of these digital backgrounds that we are getting. And I'm just wondering if Y&R is going to try to use those digital backgrounds to give us a lot more outdoor looking scenes without building out those practical sets. So while we're getting a lot of that green screen lately. We had that same park bench for Victoria and Connor with just a different green screen background. I'm wondering what you guys think of those. So that's our poll question for the week at yrchat.com. Are you liking those digital backgrounds? Yes or no? I do like the backgrounds, but I just want to say I'm a little bit nervous that they're going to start using that instead of, for instance, building the park set. I like it, but please do still build up Chancellor Park Y&R. I just don't want all of the outside to have that digital background. Okay, everybody. That is Y&R Chat for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you take your turn now. Go to yrchat.com. Tell me what you're thinking about the green screen. Tell me what you're thinking about this week's show. What are your predictions for next week's show? Anything you want to say, that's a good place to say it. And then, we'll just let the whole week go by. We'll let it all sink in, and we'll come back next Sunday and do another chat about it. Okay? Okay. I love you guys. I hope you have a good week.